In this video, I'm going to show you how to stretch the fabric from our button embroidery kits onto the little frame that comes in the kit so that you've got a nice tight surface to work your embroidery. So let's get started. So this method works not only with our various embroidered button kits, which come with this little wooden mini slate frame. Okay, so that's what it's a take on. This will also work with our fillet frame sets, or fillet frames, or however you want to say the name of the lace, which are basically acrylic in 3 sizes. There is also the smaller size. Which are designed so that you can stretch netting and work darned netting on squares. You can also work some other needlework laces on them. And you can do small pieces of embroidery stretched onto them as well. Okay, so obviously it's not the same as using a full-on slate frame, but for the small projects, particularly for the buttons, this is great. You're not wasting a lot of fabric, and so that's a big help. So you'll cut out your design along the dark dashed line. The next thing to do is, you can see there's a square just on the inside. So you need to fold in to that square and just finger press it, just to keep it where we want it. Okay. Now in the instructions, it says to use a couple of strands of the white embroidery cotton to do this, but you can use, sewing thread, knot one end, and sew through that folded bit. And you see, knot the end and sew through so that it doesn't come all the way through. I would always go around anyways. But you want to make sure that that stays tight. So if you need to go through a second time, or if you want to knot that there, you can do so, because this is where we're going to be achieving the tension from this first point. Hold the fabric so that it just sits inside of the frame. And now all you're going to do is stitch from the fabric and around the frame, and then through the fabric and around the frame. And you see, I'm not worrying too much about getting it really, really tight up to the frame at this point. We can get that tension sorted out afterwards. And then come around. And the reason that the fabric was folded round is it just gives you a bit more strength to the fabric. The last thing you want is for you to be a little bit close to the edge of the fabric and pull, and then the fabric frays a bit, and then you can't get your tension. So now we're pulling on a folded edge. It means the fabric is stronger. Little kink there. There we go. Can always guarantee whenever I'm filming, I'll get a kink or a tangle somewhere. Never happens when I'm just sitting in my armchair doing anything like this, does it? So now obviously that's not very tight. You're not going to be able to do much embroidery on that very easily. But all you need to do now is take your needle in the same order that you stitched and pull. And you see this loop is getting bigger each time. But what is also happening is that fabric is tightening up really nicely in that frame. Try to keep the grain nice and straight if you can. You don't have to worry too much because we're only working on buttons here. And there we go. Come all the way around, and that's nice and tight now. I'm going to put that through again here, so I've got something to anchor it onto, and then I'm going to slide the needle under here and just work some knots so that that holds in and holds tight. And now I can go ahead and work the embroidery according to the instructions, or for that matter, any way that I like. And that will stay nice and taut to carry on through until I've finished and can cover the button. Thanks very much for watching. I hope that helped and answered any of the questions that you might have had about using the slate frame in the kits. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.